What's up, everybody? Joe De La Torre here, talking about some relationships. Since a lot of things I post on social media, I get a lot of good responses, and I start to learn like the mentality of both men and women, mostly women because men don't talk. But so what I want to talk about is three things that I keep hearing about in relationships, and I want to kind of like discuss it. Number one thing I've been seeing all day is women talking about how men these days are princesses. And yet I'm still haven't got the definition of what that means. But I'm starting to think that what it is that women are mad because men are not pursuing them, right? And a couple reasons for that. One, and we'll talk about it in the second thing I'm gonna talk about, but I think when it comes to, I got a lot of pushback from this. I said women that are dating a man, you should wait at least 6 months before you sleep with him. And a lot of women didn't like that. They started saying, well, what if I want it? What if I want to see if he's good in bed? Okay, well then what you're taking on then is masculine traits. And once you give it up, you have no more power, right? That's it. Because if that was the only thing he wanted, you're going to learn real quick, this is the reason why he's not pursuing you, because he got what he wanted. And if he's not pursuing you is because, also, not to blame it on women, but when men have options, right, and they can sleep with women without any kind of commitment, then there's no need at this point to be in a relationship with them. But I'll tell you this right now, if a man wants you, trust me when I say he will pursue you. He'll want to spend time with you. It won't just be about sex. It will definitely be about just having conversations, spending, like, actually hanging out with you because he enjoys your company and has a good time. And I think some women confuse with that. Well, if he's not taking you on dates all the time or spending money on you for some reason, women think that that is showing his trait to be a man. Like when I posted what are the three things that most women are attracted to, most women posted the same thing. Number one answer was cash. Second was COCK. And the third was like compassion or something like that. And completely wrong. What women are attracted to is a man with confidence, which a lot of women did guess that one, right? And the second one is a man that's a challenge, right? A man that basically is not drooling all over you, even if it pisses you off. At the same time, you wouldn't want a man that's overly, pursuing you, because now it's almost like annoying, and women think like it's weakness, right? Because now he's just being too much, right? So whether women like it or not or agree with it, women love a little bit of a challenge. They don't want a guy that's just immediately just gives you all his time. It shows a little bit of desperation, and that's definitely not a thing that a confident man would do. And then the last one is a man in control. And women are like, I don't want no man to control me. Okay, that's your own trauma. Take it easy. That has to do with you being with a narcissist. Control is not narcissism. Control means a man that can lead, right? So confidence, a challenge, and a man that's in control, that you don't have to really say much. And this is where the princess thing came from, because you guys are entertaining men that are not leaders, they're not in control, and they're not trying to lead anything, probably because they just want to sleep with you. True story. Which brings me to my next point. Situationships. First of all, let me make it very clear. I don't have a situationship. I post it all the time. It's really just making fun of women saying it, because let's just be honest, situationship is friends with benefits. Women call it situationship because it sounds nicer. It sounds not as bad. But at the end of the day, what it is a friends with benefits. And any woman that calls it a situationship is because she's assuming that eventually it's going to become in a relationship. Well, going back to my first point was, once you sleep with a man, you gave him all your power. You're the key to sex, and men are the key to relationships. And what that specifically means is that the man decides whether he wants to be in a relationship with you, right? Yeah, of course, you have to be attracted to him for that to happen, but it's the man that makes the decision, right? He's going to eventually tell you that he wants you to be his girlfriend, or he wants you to be his wife, so he's got to be the one to make that final decision. And the power that women hold is sex, and unfortunately, women are giving it away way too easy. And then they're saying, I can't find a good man. Well, that's because the men you entertain only want you for that. And the reason why I did the 6-month thing, because then you'll know if he just wants to actually pursue you and he sees a future with you and he wants a relationship with you, or he was just waiting for the opportunity to have sex with you, and then now it's it. Now he's done. Now He's got nothing else that he really has to get. So the thing about the situationship is funny to me because it's just a new term for friends with benefits. Admit what it is, right? He doesn't want to go public with you. He's not trying to wine and dine you. He's not trying to take you out because he doesn't have to. And whose fault would that be? If he doesn't have to do any of those things, that's because you allow that, right? That's 100% on you, right? And you'll know 100% for sure if a man wants you and wants to be with you, because he's going to do a lot of different things and go out of his way to impress you. He's going to go out of his way to try to find ways to spend time with you, you know? And when a man doesn't do that, then it's a dead giveaway that he only was in pursuit of one thing, and unfortunately you gave it up. So now what is the reason for him to continue to pursue, right? And I think a lot of women think that what happens too, like when women have multiple sexual partners, they start to take on the traits of a man. They start to become masculine because now you're supposed to be the better of the two options, right? And women don't like that because they say, why is it on us? Well, because again, you make the final decision whether a man sleeps with you. The man doesn't decide that. You have to. He can want to, but you're going to be the final decision whether he gets to do it or not, because you have that power. You're the key to sex. So when I hear women talk about the princess crap, I'm thinking to myself, well, it has a lot to do, because if you start to develop masculine traits, well, then guess what you're going to attract? A lot of feminine men, right? It goes back to the saying, all the women that I love when they post this, I want a bearded man, 6'2", that is has his soft side. Okay, even if you were to get that, that's a unicorn. But forget about that for a second. You want a sensitive man, but then at the same time you want a man that leads. Then you say you want a man, but then the traits that you say that you want in a man are feminine, and then you're mad when he's feminine because that's what you attracted and that's what you wanted. But that has a lot to do with because you develop a lot of masculine traits. And I'm telling you right now, any man that is high quality, he definitely has options, which women didn't want to hear that, but that's true. If a man is good looking and he's all the things that you like, well, you think you're the only woman that sees that? Obviously, he's got options. So at the end of the day, he has to make a decision. Why are you the main option, right? Why are you going to be the one that he finally wants to be with and wants to make it official and commit, right? And I will say this, that, you know, men today have a hard time committing, but again, it has a lot to do with they don't have to commit because women allow them to be with them without any sort of commitment. And it's funny to me that women that are in these situationships, they start to be exclusive to that man only because they think it's going somewhere, but chances are it's not. So now you give exclusivity to a guy that you're talking to, but unless he's basically said that you're his girl, you're allowed to talk to as many men as you want, right? And I go one step further. Until he marries you, you really are on the open market. So any man that really wants to be with you, he definitely wants to make it official, and he definitely wants to take you off the market because he only wants you for himself, right? Any woman that doesn't see that, I'm sorry, I can't help you. And then the last thing I'll talk about is basically women, you attract the wrong attention and you attract the wrong men, because if you're consistently posting things overly sexualized, well, then what do you think you're going to attract? If you're constantly posting pictures overly sexualized, well, then you're only going to attract thirsty men. Now, women don't like to hear that either, because they're saying, well, I'm doing this for myself and I'm doing it for my own sexuality and confidence. Fine. No one's judging that. Nothing I'm saying on this video is judging you, but just understand that if you post sexual photos, you're going to attract sexual men because you're putting that out there, right? It's no different than what I talk about in business. You're marketing and attracting the wrong men because you're using your body to get their attention. And I know I did post a meme about that and women didn't agree. A man wants a feminine woman and a woman that's not for the streets at the end of the day. If he's going to make it official with a woman, he wants to make sure that she's not for everyone, right? He wants to know that she's only for him. So hope you guys learned from the video. You could dispute it. I would love to hear your comments, your responses, and what you think.